Hello guys, how much time have we got is our unit 8 lessons 3 and 4. Today we have unit 8 lesson 3 and 4. Let's start with lesson 3. Lesson 3, as you can see. Okay, we have the difference between some and any. How to use some in a sentence. First, we use some with uncountable and plural countable nouns in affirmative sentences. As we said, uncountable means something you can't count, and plural countable nouns means noun or something you can count. Here we have singular and plural of it. Okay, here we have an example. There are some apples. Here we used some because apples is plural countable, and it in affirmative sentences we used some in affirmative sentences with plural countable or uncountable. There is some water. Water here is uncountable, something you can't count, and we use some because it's affirmative sentences, so we use some with uncountable and plural countable nouns in affirmative sentences. Okay, there are some apples, affirmative sentences with the plural nouns. There is some water. This is affirmative sentence with uncountable noun. Okay, let's move to any. This is called any. Okay, we use any with uncountable and plural countable nouns in negative sentences and in questions. So some we use some in affirmative sentences, but any we use it in negative sentences and questions. For example, let's read the first example. Have you got any newspapers? Have you got any newspapers? Any here we used any because it's a question. Have you got any newspapers? Okay, newspapers. Have you got any newspapers? Okay, we used here any because it's a question, and we use any with uncountable and plural countable nouns. The answer, yes, I have got some newspapers. Here we used some because it's affirmative sentences, not negative or not negative sentence. Okay, have you got any salt? We used any because it's a question, as you know. The answer, no, I haven't got any salt. We used here any because it a negative sentence. I haven't is a negative sentence. So we use some with uncountable and plural countable nouns in affirmative sentences, but any we use any in negative sentences and in questions with uncountable and plural countable. Okay, let's move to lesson 4. Lesson 4, phonics and spelling. Listen, point and repeat. Ed says t or ta. Walked, walked. We pronounce it walked, walked. Finished, finished. Washed, washed. So walked, finished, washed. Okay, ed says id. Waited, waited. Painted, painted. Tied it, tied it. Waited, painted, tied it. Okay, ed says d. Showed, showed. Played, played. Rained, rained. So here we have the word which end with ed. We can pronounce it as t, id, or d. Walked, finished, washed, waited, painted, tied it, showed, played, rained. Okay, let's read Listen and read. Picture number one. Alice walked home from school yesterday. She got wet because it rained. When Alice finished her homework, she tidied her desk. Then she painted a picture and showed it to her mom. And picture number two. We waited until the evening for the football game to start. The footballers played until 10:30. Okay, let's do some exercises on lessons 3 and 4. The first question, choose the correct answer. Okay, number 1, he hasn't got space time. Many, some, any, lots. Okay, here we have he hasn't. Hasn't here is negative sentence. So the answer will be yes, he hasn't got any time because we use any in negative sentences or question, as you know. Okay, number 2. I'd like to have space apple juice. A lot, some, any, lot. Again, I'd like to have space apple juice. Okay, here we have some and any. As you know, we use some with affirmative sentence, and this is affirmative sentence. I'd like to have some apple juice. So the answer is some. Okay, number 3. We didn't buy space food. We didn't buy space food. Many, some, any, lots. Here we have the negative form. So this is a negative sentence. We didn't buy. Didn't here negative. Okay, so the answer will be we didn't buy any food. So the correct answer is any. Okay, number 4. Look, there are space toys in my box. Any, some, much, a lot. Okay, take your time to answer. Look, there are toys in my box. Okay, the answer is some. There are some toys in my box. Okay, so the answer will be some. Number 5. Number 5. There aren't space sandwiches. Much, some, any, lots. There aren't space sandwiches. Okay, here we have aren't. Aren't here is a negative sentence, so we have to use excellent as usual. There aren't any sandwiches. So the answer is aren't. Number 6. Have you got space toothpaste? Have you got space toothpaste? Some, any, many, lots. Okay, this is a question. Have you got, yes, excellent. Have you got any toothpaste? So the answer is any. Have you got any toothpaste? Number 7. Judy has got space shampoo. Some, any, an, a. Judy has got space shampoo. This is affirmative sentence, not negative, not question. So we have to use Judy has got. Excellent. Judy has got some shampoo. Judy has got some shampoo. Okay. Number 8. No, I haven't got space comics. No, I haven't got space comics. Some, any, much, lots. No, I haven't got. Excellent. No, I haven't got any comics because this is a negative sentence. So the answer is no, I haven't got any comics. Question number 2. Rewrite the following sentences. Number 1. Malak eats some biscuits. Use not. Okay, we start with Malak. Malak eats. Here it's a present simple tense. So the negative form, it may be don't or doesn't. But look at the subject. The subject here, Malak. So we have to use doesn't. Malak doesn't. Malak doesn't eat. And we will turn some to any. Malak doesn't eat any biscuits because any, we use any with a negative sentence, and doesn't here is a negative form or negative sentence. Number two, no, I haven't got any cakes. No, I haven't got any cakes. Use have. So we start with have. Have you got any cakes? Have you got any cakes? We use any because we use any in negative and questions, and this is a question sentence. So the answer is, have you got any cakes? Number three, yes, they have got some cheese. Okay, use have. We start with have. Have they got? We will turn some to any. Have they got any cheese? So the answer is, have they got any cheese? Okay, number four. Have you got any carrots? Use and use yes. Okay, we start with yes. Yes. Yes, I have got some carrots. We will turn any to some because here we have some, it's affirmative sentence. Okay, so the answer is yes, I have got some carrots. Number five. Number five. Has he got any meat? Use yes. Okay, we start with yes. Yes, he has got some. We will turn any to some. Yes, he has got some meat. So the answer is yes, he has got some meat. Yes, he has got some meat. Okay. See you next time, inshallah.